Okay, we are back. Elections happening in 288 constituencies in Maharashtra, 38 constituencies in Jharkhand. Results will be out in 3 days. And how's it going? Well, let's find out. Let's touch base before we open this up with our guests, with our reporters who are on the ground. Jatin Rawal now joining us from Thane. Mahima is back with us from Nagpur. Jatin, first over to you. क्या चर्चा चल रही है? क्या मुद्दे हैं मतदाता देने वालों का?
बिल्कुल आपको बता दूं कि जिस तरह से अभी फिलहाल मैं जो हूँ वहां पर थाने में अभी फिलहाल अगर मतदारों की बात करें तो मतदारों में बहुत सारे मुद्दे हैं जिनको लेकर मतदार यहाँ पर मतदान करने के लिए आए। क्या नाम है आपका? सुनील जी, क्या मुद्दे आपके जहन में थे जिसको लेकर आप यहाँ पर मतदान करने के लिए आए?
शिंदे साहब को।
अच्छा, शिव सेना से अलग हुए हैं, उसके बाद पहला ये विधानसभा का चुनाव है, किस तरह से देखते हैं? महायुति है, महा विकास आघाड़ी?
इतना मालूम नहीं आपने।
अच्छा, यानी शिंदे साहब को आप वोट देंगे?
शिंदे साहब
किस बलबूते पर उनको चुनना चाहते हैं?
Keep moving, speak to more people. I'm going to come back to you, give you a chance to keep moving to speak to more people. Otherwise, we'll have a long conversation with just one voter. Yeah, keep moving, Jatin. Go find people, we'll come back to you. Let's hop across to Mahima meanwhile in Nagpur. Mahima, you've been speaking to a lot of people throughout the morning. You are, of course, been with a lot of the BJP Karyakartas. What are they saying? What are they telling you now?
Is really enthusiastic when it comes to voting or exercising their right. Sir, मैं सबसे पहले आपकी एज जानना चाहूँगी।
I'm 83.
You're 83. सर, आज आप वोट करने आए हैं, क्या मुद्दा रहा है? सबसे स्पेसिफिकली मुद्दा क्या है?
मुद्दा ये है कि हमारा जो महाराष्ट्र प्रदेश है इसका विकास कैसा हो, जो बेरोजगार है उनको रोजगार मिले, किसान महाराष्ट्र का बहुत परेशान है, आपको पता होगा। हिंदुस्तान में सब में बदहाल हालत किसानों की सिर्फ महाराष्ट्र में है, तो उनके हितों की रक्षा करने वाला कोई नहीं है। अभी सब लोग आत्महत्या कर रहे हैं। ये 10 साल में 20,000 लोगों ने आत्महत्या कर लिया है, आपको पता होगा। तो इसमें इनका हित देखने वाला हो, विद्यार्थियों का हित देखने वाला हो। सब में बड़ी समस्या हमारे जैसे आदमी ये महसूस करता है वो ये है कि सरकारी स्कूलें बंद कर रहे हैं, अब प्राइवेट ट्यूशन वालों को बढ़ावा दे रहे हैं, जिसमें 10-10, 20-20 हज़ार रुपये महीने की फीस कुछ लोग कमाते हैं और ये पार्टी फंड देते हैं। ये सब गलत व्यवहार बंद होना चाहिए। सरकारी स्कूल इम्प्रूव होना चाहिए ताकि आम गरीब आदमी भी सरकारी स्कूल में शिक्षा ले सके।
सर, मैं आपसे भी जानना चाहूँगी, आप वोट करके आए हैं। राइट बिहाइंड मी इज द पोलिंग बूथ, इफ यू कैन ऑल्सो गिव द विजुअल्स। सर, आप किन मुद्दों पर वोट करें?
मेरा सबसे पहला मुद्दा है बेरोजगारी, क्योंकि बेरोजगारी इतनी हुई है कि जवान लड़के लड़कियों को काम नहीं है, वो बेचारे भटक रहे हैं, और काम नहीं रहने की वजह से जो है बहुत सारे इलीगल जैसे धंधे कर रहे हैं, जो है यानी इसके आरे जा रहे, वो यानी ड्रग्स के आरे जा रहे हैं, दारू पी रहे, सिगरेट पर, काम ही नहीं, उनको क्या करेंगे बेचारे, इतने जवान बच्चे खाली है फिलहाल में। ये मेरा पहला मुद्दा बेरोजगारी का है। जैसे किसान लोग आत्महत्या कर रहे हैं, किसानों को यानी रेट नहीं मिल रहा, जो रेट चाहिए वो रेट नहीं मिल रहा, और जैसे स्वास्थ्य सुविधा जैसी चाहिए वैसी नहीं है। जैसे गवर्नमेंट के हॉस्पिटल में गए अपन, वहाँ पे मेडिसिन नहीं है, डॉक्टर्स नहीं है, स्टाफ नहीं है, एक्सरे मशीनरी नहीं है, MRI की मशीनरी नहीं है। तो इन मुद्दा ये सबसे ज़्यादा मेरा ये मुद्दा है, हेल्थ का भी है भाई।
Your youth, so specifically Prime Minister always speak about the youth. He also encourages youth to participate and exercise their right when it comes to the voting. What are your basic issues? What have you voted for?
I voted for basically for the development purpose. You are seeing the development in Nagpur in coming days, and also my second part is that about the job opportunities. And as my father told about the medical facilities, healthcare facilities, and my fourth point is about farmer issue, that MSP, minimum MSP about the farmers and all these things.
मैम, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगी, दिस अ क्यूट लिटिल गर्ल, आप किन मुद्दों पर वोट किया है? क्योंकि आप महिला हैं।
महंगाई बहुत बढ़ गई है, सब्जी के दाम बहुत बढ़ गए, डबल या चौपट दाम हो गए हैं, और सिलेंडर का भाव बहुत बढ़ गया है। सिलेंडर 200, 250, 300 तक का था, अभी 900, 1000 रुपये देना पड़ रहा है। जो सब्सिडी मिलती थी पहले 400 रुपये, वो अभी 40 रुपये हो गई है। इस मुद्दे पर
Bunch of people from Nagpur this morning, all supporters of the BJP, saying that development couldn't be better. They want stability. They want the government back. Now you've heard a bunch of people who are saying, no, hang on, there is inflation, which is a problem. There are jobs, which is a problem. So you've heard all sides of the voter base. But Nagpur, where of course Devendra Fadnavis is hoping to return from, 6 constituencies in that city should go if Devendra Fadnavis has his way back into the kitty of the Bharatiya Janata Party. But who knows, the Congress has won it in the past. Raj Thackeray on your screen is going to cast his vote and will be speaking out shortly. Let me try to get Jatin back from Thane, who is now with voters, to hear perspective. Jatin, जितने ज़्यादा लोगों से आप बातचीत कर सके उतना ही ज़्यादा अच्छा है.
जी देखिए, बिल्कुल आपको बता दूं, यहाँ पर कुछ महिलाएं जो है वो यहाँ पर अपना मत देने के लिए आई है, उनसे बातचीत करते हैं. क्या नाम है आपका?
मेरा नाम ज्योति तिख है.
अच्छा, आप मतदान करने के लिए क्या मुद्दे आपके जहन में है, जिसको लेकर आप मतदान करने आइए?
मतदान करने के लिए मैं तो अपने क्या बताऊँ आपका.
अच्छा, क्या नाम है सर आपका?
मुकेश पांडे.
मुकेश जी, क्या मुद्दे हैं जिसको लेकर आप मतदान करने के लिए आप आए?
मुद्दे ये जो डेवलपमेंट के मुद्दे हैं, बाकी विकास के ऊपर मतदान करना है.
और कुछ और भी जो लोग हैं उनसे भी बातचीत करते हैं, उनसे भी जानने का प्रयत्न करते हैं कि उनका क्या कहना है. क्या नाम है आपका?
आरती बार कुछ ना.
आरती जी, क्या मुद्दे हैं जिसको लेकर आप यहाँ पर मतदान करने के लिए आए?
अरे
विकास है या क्या है?
सहायक है आए म्हणून मतदान देने का.
क्या नाम है आपका बहन?
सुशांती सावंत.
अच्छा, क्या मुद्दे हैं जिसको लेकर आप यहाँ पर मतदान करने के लिए आए?
मतदान करने के लिए.
यानी कि बहुत सारे जो लोग हैं वो यहाँ पर, कुछ और भी महिलाएं भी है. क्या नाम है मैम आपका?
दीपाली.
अच्छा दीपाली जी, क्या मुद्दे लेकर आप यहाँ पर मतदान करने के लिए आए?
एम्प्लॉयमेंट.
एम्प्लॉयमेंट.
होप एम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़े पोस्ट वोटिंग.
यानी कि एम्प्लॉयमेंट है, जैसे विकास के मुद्दे हैं, ऐसे बहुत सारे मुद्दे हैं जिसको लेकर लोग जो है वो यहाँ पर मतदान.
It's given a little bit of, I know it's only a whiff. Because sometimes people are very camera conscious, they get shy. Sometimes they want to say the politically correct thing when they might be feeling about religion and identity and caste, and they want to say Vikas. I'm putting the caveats out there. This is human understanding that can happen this way. So my thanks to Mahima and to Jatin for getting us a perspective. Let me open this up to our guest, Mukesh Tyagi of the BJP with us, Sujata Paul of the Congress, Manisha Kayande joining us. She's the senior leader of the Shiv Sena of the Shinde faction. Varun Singh is with us to put perspective on this, as well as Priya Sehgal, the editorial director of NewsX. Priya, hi, good morning to you. Is this a really confusing election?
Absolutely, Rishabh, because it's a very many layered election, as I would, say, because there is not just one alliance fighting the other. There are also turf wars within the alliance. We saw how Ajit Pawar has really been the outcast in the Mahayuti. There is also a battle for legacy, Shiv Sena versus Shiv Sena, NCP versus NCP. So it's a really confusing election. At the end of the day, if people are talking, say, about Hindutva also, even if they come out and talk about religion, who do they think is the best custodian? Is it the Shiv Sena? Is it the BJP? Is it Eknath Shinde Sena, Uddhav Thackeray? There are a lot of confusing signals that the voters can send out, because there is no, in terms of identity politics, there is a total identity crisis really that's happening over here. And what's interesting also and makes it more confusing is, Rishabh, there is no clear chief ministerial candidate from either side. Either will Eknath Shinde continue his posters. I was there in Mumbai. His posters are there along with Narendra Modi, but so is Devendra Fadnavis. On the other side, hasn't given a chief ministerial candidate, but we are told there is the unspoken spoken assurance but not made public between Rahul Gandhi and Uddhav Thackeray that it will be Uddhav Thackeray who will be the Maha Vikas Aghadi's CM candidate if they win. So, without a clear face, issues being, divided on all sides, whether it's welfare politics or whether it's economics, reform, development, it is a very difficult election.
Okay, but Priya, do you think this will stick? Because last time around, it should have been on the face of it a BJP Shiv Sena government. They had between them I think 161 seats, more than enough to form a government, but it didn't get formed. We saw Devendra Fadnavis swearing in with Ajit Pawar, and then 2 days later the same Ajit Pawar swearing in with Uddhav Thackeray. So will this alliance stick, or who knows, Ajit Pawar might join back, Eknath Shinde might join back, Uddhav Thackeray might switch sides. Is anything still possible?
That's the other confusion, Rishabh. Absolutely well said, well caught. You don't even know where Sharad Pawar is there. We just got during this campaign. In fact, he spoke to our correspondent also, Ajit Pawar. Whether Sharad Pawar had Ajit Pawar had Sharad Pawar's go ahead to go and join Devendra Fadnavis. Sharad Pawar has said this is his last election. If this is his last election, he'll want to settle his daughter in a ministerial berth somewhere or the other. So, whether Sharad Pawar might switch, whether Eknath Shinde might return. If the Eknath doesn't have the numbers and BJP has, will Uddhav go back over there? Because at the end, it's, who gets, there is no ideology. It's so blurred. You can easily justify which way you're headed because there is no distinction between any of the two alliances except perhaps the BJP and the Congress. They haven't yet merged and blurred. But the rest, it's an open
Yeah,
game.
I agree.
So what you said,
Other than the clear difference between the BJP and the Congress, everybody else is blurred. The reason is blurred is because you don't know where they're going to be. 2 weeks, if we couldn't tell where Ajit Pawar is going to be 2 days later, how do we expect to assume what will happen on the 23rd? Ajit Pawar will want to be with the winning side. Okay. That's what he will want to be. Regardless of who wins, he wants to be chief minister, which is what he got. He got his cake and ate it too last time around. But then that's it. He didn't do very well in the Lok Sabha elections. Let me quickly get Varun into this before I get the politicians. Varun, has there been something that has stuck as an issue? Because I've been observing this, it seems like a very quiet election between Vinod Tavade and Bitcoin and, Hum Saath Saath Hain and what other slogans. I'm sorry, I'm quoting a movie. The slogan is actually Bad gaye to kat gaye. But regardless of, has anything stuck that this is the main issue of this election?
Yeah, Rishabh, firstly, let me tell you the line that you said that Ajit Pawar had the cake and is happy too, but couldn't perform. It was excellent. That is what defines Maharashtra politics in the last 5 years. Ajit Pawar is someone who has been there in every place. Couldn't perform well in the Lok Sabha election, but to be very honest, the Bharatiya Janata Party has stuck with him for a very simple reason because in the rural parts of Maharashtra where the BJP isn't too strong, they are expecting, they are hoping, they still have the hopes and dreams that Ajit Pawar may perform better than his kaka, which actually on ground looks a bit difficult. Secondly, the question that you asked about whether the slogans have worked or not. To be very honest, in urban areas, especially the Ek Hai To Safe Hai has worked excellently well. I was out in the morning and those people whom I have always seen in my area, not politically inclined, they were sitting on the, they have come out, they have set up booths on their own. Women especially. I see, earlier in urban areas, it was very difficult because women have to get up, go vote, come home, prepare the dabba and leave. But this time I'm seeing many women sitting on tables over here, far away from the booth, guiding other women, elderly women up to 60, up to 50. And, youngsters are also coming out. You may say it, probably the urban voters in the last Lok Sabha election who had stayed away, this time they are coming out. In rural, there is still not much of an impact.
Okay, but Barun, what does that mean? Is there a whiff that you're getting that people did not like the stability, did not like the instability, the confusion? So this time they're overwhelmingly going for one of the two national parties because they see the disruption in the regional parties. So what do you mean by, what does Ek Hai, Safe Hai, what does it actually mean as a slogan?
To be very honest, I don't see that people over here, immaterial whichever party or whichever alliance they vote, that instability wouldn't be gone. Because none of the political party, except for the Bharatiya Janata Party over here, none of the bigger party, even the Congress is not contesting the number of seats that is required for majority. The BJP is the only one that is contesting 149. And to be very honest, they wouldn't win all the 149. So yes, the instability will continue and the voters are aware about it.
So that's the bottom line. In pure mathematics, no party can actually form the government by themselves. So there will have to be a coalition. So let me get Manisha ji into this conversation to get to the genesis. Manisha Kayande and Uddhav Thackeray became the leader of the Shiv Sena because despite the challenge of Raj Thackeray, who everybody knew was perhaps, being tutored, mentored at one point of time by Bala Saheb Thackeray, Uddhav Thackeray became the leader. Your leader, Eknath Shinde, and a lot of people left the party. Remind us why.
Well, as you rightly said, that Raj Thackeray was groomed to be the next leader in Shiv Sena. That's the perception also, and might be a fact. But the Shiv Senics did accept Uddhav Thackeray as their leader when Balasaheb Thackeray threw this open the topic at a conclave in Maharashtra at Mahabaleshwar, if I rightly remember. And people did accept him. He did try to lead the party. But the problem started when he became the chief minister, and also his son was made the cabinet minister in the very first go of his election. So this did not go down well with the Shiv Senics. And it was thought, because he kept on saying that one fine day I would make a Shiv Sainik as the chief minister. When Balasaheb Thackeray was alive, Narayan Rane, Manohar Joshi were made chief ministers, those who were not from the family. And the legacy began when Uddhav Thackeray was at the helm of affairs. So this was somewhere the Shiv Senics were unhappy, both becoming the cabinet minister.
But aren't you worried, ma'am, especially after the Lok Sabha result, aren't you worried that push comes to shove, okay, the voter of Shiv Sena will still go by the Thackeray name and not the Shinde name?
No. That's a perception that, which they are trying to bank on, is the sympathy votes. Sympathy votes are given when, there is a different situation. But here the situation is not so, because several leaders have left Shiv Sena. Narayan Rane, Chhagan Bhujbal, Ganesh Naik, and Eknath Shinde made the final strike when he left with 40 MLAs and 10 independents.
Okay.
This was the biggest splits. And taking over the party also, when the election came in, there were several series of court cases and representations in the election commission, and finally the bow and arrow and the name of the party.
Yeah, it's been 5 years of chaos. Let's face it, I don't think even the politicians themselves remember what exactly happened. So let me get Mukesh Tyagi of the BJP in. Mukesh ji, now we've seen a Lok Sabha election in which you reformed a government at the centre. Maharashtra did not deliver the numbers again which you would have wanted it to. Only 9 seats for the BJP. Okay, very poor performance for Ajit Pawar. Nothing special for Shinde ji as well. Uddhav Thackeray got a few seats as well. Now in between we've had Haryana, where everybody written you off, that no chance. You lost 5 seats in Lok Sabha, no chance are you winning Haryana. But has a momentum shift happened? What is the confidence you have for Maharashtra?
Rishabh, good morning to you, and I'm very happy. I think the voter turnout is very good in comparison to 61.4% last time. But, it is a typical fight of, like I'm reminded of Mahabharata. धर्म और अधर्म की लड़ाई है. इस प्रकार से Mr. Uddhav Thackeray and his cronies had looted and demonstrated a very serious lust for power. I think today Maharashtra voters are mature enough. They want stability of Maharashtra, which is one of the economically most prosperous state, one of the largest states, and the majority of the Maharashtra voters are certainly driven by the developmental politics, transcending the caste barriers. And that is where I think BJP scores 10 out of 10. And you have seen in Haryana election the way it has happened. Even in the parliamentary election 2024, Eknath Shinde outperformed Uddhav Thackeray. So there is a increasing recognition that Mr. Uddhav Thackeray has absolutely betrayed. He has given up on the ideology. There is a political expediency which has taken over the ideology.
So what is the political expediency? What is the political expediency? Because when Uddhav Thackeray was unable, Mukesh Tyagi...
He betrayed BJP despite the promise that yes, there will be a...
no, but has he betrayed the core ideology? Because when Uddhav Thackeray, Mukesh Tyagi...
he took Mr. Modi's posters to win the election. So that is number one. Now there is a comparison between octogenarian Mr. Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar. And now they are seeing that Sharad Pawar's innings are literally over. He is himself announcing maybe for sympathy. He wants to garner sympathy from Maharashtrian votes that could be exploited. But people have seen now the future of the Sharad Pawar doesn't lie with Sharad Pawar. Because
but Mukesh Tyagi, now here's the problem. But there is a perception. There is
to the younger recognition that yes, there is a need for a renewed, reinvigorated.
okay, but Mukesh Tyagi, there is a perception that the BJP comes in
So
and
there
it
is
comes
a
and
shift,
destroys
and then
party.
third is the twin engine.
Can you hear me?
People recognize that if you really want a state to prosper, you need a twin engine support. And fourth is the way.
Mukesh ji, if you can hear me, I've been trying to take a question from you, sir. Yes.
Mr.
Because
Rahul Gandhi is coming out with Ek Hai to Safe Hai. He's demonstrating safe. He's run out of all possible.
okay, we'll come back to Mukesh Tyagi. Let's mute him. We'll come back to him when he's able to hear us and take the question, because there is a perception, one can argue, that the BJP came in and destroyed the Shiv Sena, destroyed the NCP. But then you can argue how easy were they to destroy. Let me get the Congress in on this. Ma'am, Sujata ji, in a real sense, okay, you are not going to be able to form the government by yourself. It will have to be the alliance, and the alliance means Mr. Sharad Pawar will have to do well and Mr. Uddhav Thackeray will have to do well. Given the confusion in their parties, what gives you confidence that they will do well?
First of all, there is no confusion anywhere, and we have always respected the federal structure, and we've formed an alliance. There's nothing new about it. Everybody knows that. And as far as Maharashtra is concerned, the people of Maharashtra know what the issues are. Farmers' issues are huge. As far as youth are concerned, employment is very, very important at the moment, because the state, just like the entire country, is facing this problem of unemployment. Price rise is a huge problem for women, households, everybody across the border. But if you actually look at the issues, the BJP has clearly shown that they don't know what they're doing, because if you remember, they brought a legal government down illegally. And from Maharashtra, it was all the way to Gujarat, to Guwahati, to Goa. Now it is time for them to G for go. And the reason is very clear. All businesses are being removed from Maharashtra, and people don't appreciate it. In the last, 10 years, more than 10 years, the Prime Minister has only been talking about Congress Mukta Bharat, and now he's attacking Congress all the time, because they know that Congress respects the country. Congress is the one that has established democracy, and Congress will form this alliance with people of Maharashtra. Look at
okay,
the way
so what worked for you? What worked for you in the Lok Sabha elections just a few months ago? How did you have a decent performance in Maharashtra? What worked for you?
See, as far as the issues are concerned, when we talk about issues of the people, they work. If you remember, it was Dr. Manmohan Singh who started giving subsidies. So bank accounts were being opened at that time. That is what was taken forward. But now the Jan Dhan Yojana, they're all empty. Why? Because people don't have any source of income. So people are working for income, for employment, for their state, for their asmita, for their honor. And that is what is going to work. And
but
nobody
Sujata
can
ji,
disrespect people by bringing down.
but Sujata ji, Bal Thackeray represented identity politics, Maratha identity, Hindu identity. Bal Thackeray sent the Shiv Sena car sevaks to Ayodhya. Now Uddhav Thackeray has been unable to visit the Ram Mandir primarily because of you. Do you think that he's not eroded his identity because of you?
Not at all. Not at all. You know, this is a narrative which is peddled by the BJP, and the fact is that if BJP was not in this, because this is a country which has majority Hindus. I mean, what is this thing about BJP wala Hindu? We keep talking about Hindu as if only the BJP represents Hindu and a certain section of people represent Hindu. No,
Okay.
it is a country which has Hinduism as its majority religion, and nobody can deny it. Why was Vinod Tavade caught with 5 crore rupees being distributed, and the EC has registered this FIR against him? Why? It clearly means that in the silent period, if he was in Virar, it was because they know that unless they throw around money, nothing is working for them.
Let me put that.
Even
Let me
money
put
is
that to
not going
Mukesh
for them.
Tyagi. Mukesh Tyagi, you are distributing general secretary level people of your party were distributing cash because you're afraid. It's a last ditch effort. That's what the Congress is saying.
No, I think Congress should not be worrying about what we are doing, because they don't have any conclusive evidence. They are just talking in the thin air. Tell me, they were saying 5 crore. Somebody is saying 6.5 crore. I mean, where is the evidence? Where did they show the video clipping of Mr. Tavade distributing money? Actually, Election Commission is the final authority to take a decision. And first it was 5 crore, now it has turned into 9.5 crore, 9.5 lakhs. So, there is a lot of gap between lip and sip. And I think Congress is jumping prematurely that maybe some major scandal, they should look into their own conduct. I mean, the way your Narasimha Rao was paid by for the JMM, the bribery case.
Yeah, but okay, I don't want to get into corruption, sir. But now the BJP is not even denying that cash was being distributed.
No, I think Election Commission, Rishabh, is the final authority, and 3 FIRs have been filed. There is no mention about 9.5 lakhs in the FIR against Mr. Vinod Tawre. There are the 2 FIRs, and one FIR has been filed against the party which has without Mr. Tawre.
Okay.
So I think this investigation, let the investigation reach to its finality before I comment.
Okay, so all right, fair enough. Sujata ji wants to make a quick interjection, then I want to go back to the rest. I'm short of time. Sujata ji, quick, 30 seconds.
The BJP should call themselves the MCP because they are majorly corrupt party now. Okay, and as far as Pankaja Munde and Ajit Pawar are concerned, they have said that batenge to cutting is not going to work here.
You bother about your own history. Don't
All right. Okay. Hang a second. Okay, hang a second. I'm short of time. I want to come back to an issue. We've discussed the issue of the cash in politics. There is a reverse Bitcoin scam allegation from the BJP. Believe it or not, she says, Supriya says, it's my AI morphed voice. I want to go back to the core issue. Manisha Kayande, for a party that was started by a man who stood for the Marathi identity and the Hindu identity, Hindutva identity, and his son has been unable to go to the Ram temple. Now it's been almost 1 year. Do you think Uddhav Thackeray still stands for those same identities?
Well, Uddhav Thackeray has lost his path of Hindutva, which his father created. Firstly, he went with the Congress, who opposed the existence of Sri Ram. They opposed everything related to Prabhu Sri Ram. And the temple was never, the Hindutva was never on the agenda. It was the Muslims and garnering Muslim votes by fooling them. That was what his Congress identified with. Secondly, the Congress has always badly insulted Swatantri Veer Savarkar. And Uddhav Thackeray keeps saying that he will not tolerate any insult to Swatantri Veer Savarkar. But now he has stopped saying that also. Because now
hang a second. Okay. As we are speaking, Devendra Fadnavis casting his vote. Sorry to interrupt you. Devendra Fadnavis casting his vote. Just before that, Nitin Gadkari also casting his vote. That's happening in Nagpur, obviously. And Devendra Fadnavis will be hoping he retains those seats from Nagpur. I'm desperately short of time. I need to take a break. So I'll go to Varun, then I'll leave last quick word with Priya. Varun, is there identity issues here? Because it seems to me this election now is not necessarily about a vote for Modi or against Modi. I haven't seen that flavor in the campaign at all. It now seems to be that this is either Sharad Pawar gets the sympathy or Uddhav Thackeray gets the sympathy. That's pretty much it now.
Absolutely. You made a very strong point about Uddhav Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray's vote bank. So let me tell you, on the ground, the Uddhav Thackeray vote bank is not that of the Balasaheb Thackeray's vote bank, because Uddhav Thackeray has got a new vote bank that belongs to the Congress at one point of time. In areas which are Muslim dominated, over there, Uddhav Thackeray has now got the vote bank of the Congress that are the Muslims. It is not.
Are we saying Muslims in Bombay are voting for Shiv Sena?
Absolutely, yes. You could see it even in the Lok Sabha elections. Mumba Devi heavily voted for UBT MP, Nagpada. Then you have other all Muslim areas where Dongri, all these Muslim areas heavily voted for UBT. It is Janab Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray that is mentioned over here these days, and he's considered the biggest leader of Muslims in Maharashtra. You name any other leader, he wouldn't qualify as big on the ladder of being a bigger Muslim leader or the bigger Masiha of Muslims in Maharashtra, apart from Uddhav Thackeray.
Okay, all right. Priya, is this an election after a long time, which number one isn't primarily based upon Modi? I have not seen this election either for or against where there is a large appeal over there. Is there then now, this is so local that the party leaders will only have to clear it up only on the 23rd because they themselves don't know what's happening?
Exactly, Rishabh. It is not. It's a local election on local issues. It's not based on Modi nor on Rahul Gandhi. In fact, we saw less of Rahul Gandhi and more of Mallikarjun Kharge on the campaign trail. Maybe that's the domino effect of what happened in Haryana. Though Modi did do his 9 rallies, and he did, what he did in the narrative-setting rallies. Ek hai to safe hai. He stamped that Yogi Adityanath's batenge to katenge to batenge in a more palatable term. He said it's more caste, not communal, whatever. But that was kind of the narrative setting that he did, but it is not about him, not about his schemes. Issues were local. He was not the star campaigner. It was divided. I would say this is the Schindler versus Sena versus Sena battle more than anything else. If one dominant narrative, I would say that is what really stands out. At least Mumbai side, that was it. But more or less, it was not a national election for sure. It was a local state election, and I think that's a very positive takeaway because issues were discussed, jobs were discussed, whether factories are going to jobs, big tickets are going, projects are going to Gujarat or not. Welfare schemes were discussed. The Ladli Behna scheme has been really talked about. So, issues which are local, the metro, the Atul Setu. So, I think the narrative was very local and much needed, I would say.
Okay,
the Dharawal slums,
as Maharashtra votes, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you it is seeming like that this is a assembly by assembly, district by district, village by village battle. Individual candidates against individual candidates. I have not been able to spot a recurring theme that this election seems to be hinging on, and it's not even Narendra Modi, which when in doubt, that used to be the recurring theme. That also doesn't seem to be it this time around. I'm going to thank my guest. Devendra Fadnavis is speaking. Let's quickly go listen in.